Let me in the fee a Philippian ama Uyafun Adabo. Tabia herbal capsules, a busso, our pharmacy shops, any herbal shops, and we are Safanina. And after our true for 0243 686861. I say, Woma a crown for, what you're paying for, and now won't be in field watch here. Numbi. Tabia herbal capsules, once numbi.
CD capsules. My body say.
What body and prince?
CD ointment. And also,
what brand CD and prince?
No, so open immune booster pa. Said the nipa kwano be where Juma said yes, sir. Simple. Copper CD capsules. And Yarwa mobile rough. Ye nims one nanti and now your Juma Kakrabi, no bra you so wiki bia.
And you may how pound no.
And your what CD capsules in cane. We are swum the copebia. What house water.
And a CD ointment.
And your daughter Tashi, a Daubanya Hono, cause CD Herbal Center, ya, where your CD ointment and CD capsules. I will actually be Saram Sports. Ya, a Benny 19 Johnson. Now, quote she says a general body pains. Yan quote to J. Ayana, ya, near corner post. Hunamia, CD ointment. In few days, shrimp a quart, ya, one of the CD capsules. Shrimp a quart, one CD capsules, no, now the CD ointment and so a massage.
Now, many never were here.
Pharmacies, chemical and herbal shops. Boudoir from 050 5767 425 and now 0209 682836. A pay for a batter one more money for them Kwadawa if you do me no FD, I should say a dreading crowd to my jatum say.
Asempebia ba. Upesika akostati ejuma bi. Ohia bosia atre odwadie mu. Woye government ana private worker ohia sika dia te hot bi so. Woye busumi ejuma ohia scantem pa bi so. Eni na quick credit be ma obosia mo achia ne kakra. Eye collateral free loan na susu savings account opening deposit BRNim de hia ne se woye Ghana ni na wo Ghana card se wanye adwuma afi we mu de kodia na wo na wo pe o excuse BRNim for quick credit it was 0302 200 390 and na 0596 920 833 number for BRA frewa enye quick credit shenen so say quick credit e man loan e wo internet so enti shena obiara anda down Bank of Ghana, I'm Momu Dedi Hukwain, na Kaisen in Shisheda home.
Quick credit. Lending made simple.
Wabatele Accra FM, yeah, mommy. Accra FM 100.5.
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti garafuru kube puntimpuna si sokode. No wakanchira katabing say you what you can say Kwabena keja guma mni yanko.
Wabatele Accra FM, yeah, mommy.
100.5. Accra FM.
Accra FM 100.5.
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti garafuru kube puntimpuna si sokode. No wakanchira katabing say you what you can say Kwabena keja guma mni
0.5 Yamamunyina Jo Emma Kwaba Wednesday evening we are back and yeah baba ya juma edom ya motime joining on your Facebook page. We are grateful, thank you so much. Someone here joining the team Silas Arthur, Johnson Clifford, Sachi Saint, my also Kofi Atunga, any team Musa Lame, Numina Yadamunina say. But before, yeah, be Kwakwa Jumano, Meniminia Sadiq Abubakar. Say Mokai Baheba Center Sadiq Abubakar. Okay, so all right, so okay, so say all right, okay, so Chama.
Yes, sir.
Wassalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Allah is merciful.
Yes.
Allah is gracious.
Yes.
Allah is great. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Allah is our healer. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Baheba.
Yeah.
Baheba.
There's a Numpemu Masters.
Numpemu
Masters.
Baheba.
The Caribbean.
Bakuno the sauce.
Yes, yadeɛ biara ɛbɛdwane o.
Yadeɛ biara ɛbɛdwane.
Yes.
Baa hɛba.
Bɛ sɛ yadeɛ biara ɛbɛdwane.
Sɛ obi wɔ adwene mu haw. Wabɔ dam a.
Mɛ sɛ ɛmfa ho sɛ bi a wakɔ nom duro bɔ ne bi ɛna ma wadwi mu asesa.
So wɔn num wii no.
Ayi ebi a wii na wanom na. Ebi a wɔ ɛne mogya mfa. O first time akɔ try hwɛ ɛna ɛkɔfa wadwi mu.
Na dɛ wii no ɛni bi mogya afa.
Sɛ obi wɔ hɔ a nkurɔfoɔ bi na ɛka yɛ onyam na meka yɛsɛ wii nom na yɛ ɔfrɛ. Nti bi a ne yɛmfrɛ na akɔkɔ nom a nti bi deɛ ɔhaw ba.
Sɛ nyame ato nsa afrɛ sɛ num wii.
Minim ɔfrɛ no minim sɛ deɛ yɛfrɛ fa. Sɛ bi a nyame frɛ anaasɛ di frɛ ɔfrɛ bi deɛ a.
Asɛm yɛ hu.
Ɛno onyam na meka nkurɔfoɔ bi na ɛka. Nti sɛ yɛmfrɛ na akɔkɔ rahye kɔkɔ nom a ɛde ɔhaw ɛtumi de bɔ.
Sɛ nyame afrɛ wo deɛ wotumi ɛtwetwe.
Ɛno wotwe a ebi a na amfa ɔhaw ambrɛ wo. Ne mu ne yɛbɛkɔ akɔtwe ɛde ɔhaw bɛbrɛ no na kyɛ sɛ yɛmfrɛ wo yɛ. Ɛmfrɛ wo yɛ.
Na wokɔkɔtwe a.
Ɛde ɔhaw bɛbrɛ wo.
Wabɔ dam.
Wobɔ dam a brɛ me pii wɔ Baheba Center. Bɛka biribiara.
Pakyɛ ma no kɔ.
Okay, you ɛne yɛde akyia kɛseɛ ɛbɛma atiefo nyinaa sɛdeɛ de bi ɔmo nim no Baheba Center ɛyɛ baabi a na kyɛ sɛ Ghana ha ene bibire mu ha eba no dompe mu ahaw dompe mu yade yade a etete wo dompe mu de emfa ho ene sene yade no adokoro we kosi ese bia akwanhia ene wanya ena onamu abuo anase bia emre bi atwam na otia baabi wantia ho yi ena onan no etofa ho a broni frɛ no dislocation of bone na kyese bebia kose dompe no esi no ehwan afiri ho ena akwakɔ kyerɛ baabi fofora ene de ohaw abrɛw amawuntimi enante onam a okra crutches ena ade nante a Baheba Center sɛ bra bepim ɛwɔ yase hɔ na oba bepim hɔ a umfiri yɛ hɔ nkɔ no na wɔde crutches no ɛde agu Baheba Center yase hɔ na wɔde nine saa nante ayɛ den asan akɔfie sɛ wheelchair ɛna wotim na bia osisi ɛna ɛwɔ ya anase wachi dompe wachi bremo no ɛna ɛho atɔkyema spine no ɛho atɔkyema ama sesei no ama onante kra enye yi onipadua no baabi kra akyea ɛno baabi a wɔsɛ wɔdan wani ɛde pim ɛyɛ Baheba Center ɛnam sɛ baabi wɔ hɔ a wokɔ a yɛkyerɛ sɛ wachi bremo anase wachi ka sɛ ɛho atɔkyema de nya de betima ya ma na mmom no ɛgye sɛ yɛdedade ɛkɔkɔhyɛ wachi kae ne hu ne sɛ Nyankopɔn ɛbɔɔ no wamfa dade anka wo dompe ho ɛna nso amfe nso wanyɛ wachi operation na mmom no ɛyɛ animdeɛ ɛna wɔsɛ ɔba bepim ɛwɔ Baheba Center ne yɛfa abibiduro kwan so na yɛmfa nsawo yadeɛ ɛne nti no sɛ obi wɔ saa ɔhaw no sɛ bia dompe na abuo sɛ ɛyɛ wachi brɛmo ɛna ɛho atɔkyema sɛ spine na ɛho atɔkyema ɛna ɔpɛ baabi akɔakɔ yɛ ne yɛdi a Baheba Center yɛahyɛ hɔ ɛhɔ pɛ ɛna yɛyɛ sɛ adwumadi no sɛ ebia dislocation of bone amedi kan no say o nompe baabi anke o se gina na se baabi asi no na ehwan ya free ho entime enyina baabi kura o se gina de a baabi ba ko pe Baheba Center ba be pie mu ho a ye besan akasi ani ama wo na ayete sese na etie kane no ani ntine se utie me na se wo how bi e wo dompe mu de a baabi ba ko pe na so de wani ekire Baheba Center ya se ho enam se ya bi pen eno nti na ma ya ma ye ho abasobode na se ye wo kuma se Zimba Excellence Business Awards for boy abaso say 2019 and 2021 there eba no dompe mu ayare a Baheba Center yedi mu akotini yi pa ye ba be pie mu nkran han so kra yendi afe ba akokra mpo no eno so yasange eho abasobode a efi West Africa International Magazine for aboy abaso empre no a ni na di adanse se eba no dompe mu ayare he dia Ghana ha ene bibire mu ha de ye Baheba Center ya se ho pe ene so dan wani ede kire ede ntini se ote ohaw bi e wo dompe mu dia baabi ba ko pe Baheba Center ase ho anampo ebia ba ne se sene awo aba na nsentem ana mo wahu se sana wo sasabro romanticism yade tete wa eno baabi a wo so dan wani ede kire Baheba Center ase ho enam se ho nkwa ne baabi aba onya value for money onya value for usika wo de ba be piem ho no baabi ho kokopiem a ya ba fichire na ade ama ho san kofia na otwe akiri anase bosom akiri no obo se sa ho na anase sa mane no asia baabi nanso Baheba Center ya so ho de oba be piem ho a ye saa ohaw no edema wa ade ya yetu ase prekope afiu ni pedie no mu ani tine so pe baabi akwakoye odompe mu hawa na se odompe mu ayare he a wo hwehwe de a baabi ba ko pe Baheba Center ya so ho na obeka se Baheba Center dompe mu adwuma enkwa ne ye da bi yade bi atiti ni pedua no de oba be pie mu ewo ya so ho a yade a ebetu ase ede ama wo yade bi ti se fibroid yade a etiti ye duano mo mai se fibroid yade ewo so a yade de hawo ene ama ne ebre yi pa ne one de eda na wodi mu no esi na wo ho kwan ne ne de eda na wodi ano no eno so yade a obetimi awode nanso fibroid yade se wo so a de hawo ene ama ne ene ebre wo hawo bon se onye adwuma sum bia no so nanso wa pre ofele fatigue e wo nipadie no anampo wo ho ate se ohonam ana wayase etae de eye wo ya na saa fibroid ade ya nso eno nso ede moja enenyi eni tine emra na ekoso eye kese wo nipadie no no bonse wafu ababa ekese na eka putu se obi a wonyem nanso na enyenyi san ni na no fibroid ade na etete eni tino se wo akwakoye dadwen ama a wo pe ba bia ko akwakoyi saa de na free ho a wo mpese obekwa fa ba bia be operation dia ban heba center ya so any operation ho ya bibidru ene ede sa yade ho eni tino ba be pimo ban heba center ya dam bibidru kwan so ebe sa yade ama saa fibroid ade na etete wa wo de achie a wo pa no adru a wunya no obetimi ababinya eno adru ana ba ma bia ono nso eye hernia anase echo etete wa e friend case 5 yi ene bia ababe piem o be mem na chese sa case 5 yi onama case 5 no se onama abo se no afu ba bi wa atade na chese okọ ha ne no so abaha na onam kra nkola kra timi sere se bia waje on board akwa kwche atade na so na nyesa yade na etete na mu de omunim no se sa ha ne bi na etete wa o de na bia na offense na wote enka o nipadiem se emfa ho ene ba bi ewo se abeto hwa na be mu se ewo wa yase se ewo we mu ba bi biara ewo nipadiem ne ehia ne se yato din se eye hernia anase echo na etete we oba be pimo ba heba center ebitu ase e de afri okrakrakra e de ama afenso be ma bia wonya endem yade aye friend sexually transmitted infections entino se gonorrhea yade na etete wa bra be pimo oba heba center ayase ho na yemfa ebibidro entu ase emfama me de bia me kan se gonorrhea yade a ewo so a hawo yi pa enam se eno nko ano e de hawo ene amane bebre enanam ne di kan ebema wo bema wankwabo a wo nipadie no ema wona ho kafo ehia nyi sentimi ba no yade ekum sa kwabo na enti ema wo ye infertile na chese untimi de enwo enti nya wo bia wo ho a obi wo a untimi wa no de akwhia abaifo ene adade wo fie bia na egonoria yade na wo nipadie no ena omo ye de omo tete wa na se omo kum enkwabo na wo nipadie no a ebetimi ama nyi sentimi aba no egonoria yade ene tete wo sa enti no ba be pimo ba heba center yade abibidro ebetu ase de ama anampo se bia emra wa hye wata de wi kura na obi watade no won se ensio fita bi efiu be mem aba be se watade ni na ensunsanso e kire se gonorrhea de ena etete wo anampo so pesa odwonso mpo a won se obetima agina ho be 30 minutes na untimi enwonso ni na no gonorrhea ne ensunsanso ni bi eno no ani ntino se wote sa wo ha na se ohu se bibi sa ana symptoms se ya medical ebobo din ni bia ekoso e woni padie ma brabe pim e ban heba center ya se obi bebusa se ban heba emfa ene ewo enkran ha ban heba center ene yase won kran ha no baabi menu na betimi afa e de aba yenchense bia wonam circle ho baabi biara wo a onim se oben circle na la pass na baabi de ho no obefa ka se o ko baabi e fro Spintex road na udu Spintex na wa chere mate ni se obesi wo 18 junction osi wo 18 junction taxi fo bi ho mo ludu ka chem se o ko ban heba center omodo ba bi pim e yase o anampo se bia wo fitema ashaman klago ho baabi anso na oba eno so fa ka chere mate ni se obesi wo 16 junction lashibi 16 junction lashibi osi wo 16 junction so afa kwa no straight e do ba kwa ko pim o baabi e fro Bowes City Hotel ofi Bowes City Hotel a next junction me ma to ni din se ban junction enam so bo se signboard kakra no esi wo no amane afase e do ba pim e yase o ye number ne ni hye so na frɛ na bra be pim e ban heba center na beje ayarhwe e 0244 988 004 0244 988 004 eno ne number ididi juma e yase o eni ntino se ofre mpanifo a yade e beje so na so yade anase amane a etete wa ene ama wo da enyeye na odwen ho se ehefa na abekọ ama wakwakonya o yade no ne pomasi brede baabi ba kope ban heba center yase o eni ntino frɛ number no na de akire e ba be pimo e wo ho enye se bia wo frɛ keka wo ndi akire ma wo wo frɛ no wa ndi akire amba ayarehwe a yade ma amanfo ho no nya de a wo yede wonsa ebeka bi eni ntino so di akire na ba be pimo e yase o se ne be a also amane ne ohawa etete wa akwa kodanda ewo so a se odwen ho se ehefa kra da be kwakonya ano aduro no ene ban heba center aba e de amawo ene ti ne so na bra be pim ewo se ekofuru dia so na wo de a baabi e fra ho adweso 205 adweso 205 osi wo adweso 205 a baabi na zoom line for omo office no eho na ban heba center yewo ene ene ti no kokopim ho a ade a eno so ban heba center ye behwew na yamawo apomuden papa afenso wona wo enkran ha se bi obi ho ayade no se ne adokro ato mpam se bi a stroke yade e na aka wato mpam ama onipadua no kra adwedwo ontimi enpo ensore enyina ona so a eye frɛ Banheba Center na yɛmfa home service embrel na yɛfrɛ no home service no frɛ a ebi de akira aba bepiem ɛwɔ hɔ na yɛde ayarehwɛ no aba be mawo ɛwɔ aboboa no anase ompaso a pepepe na mo obi wɔ hɔ no ɔse o na home service yi de ebi ana ne bo ɛden na bi ɛte sɛ wa wafa ɔka efiri aba Banheba Center ɛne nti no sɛ ne yɛde no yɛyɛ no saa no na mmom sɛ wonte enkran ha de a ɛne home service no ɛnya de bi account na mmom we ne ɛyɛ wɔn a wɔ enkran na yɛ sɛ baby out no geographical area na kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ Accra de a na yɛ sɛ ɛno no wopɛ home service afrɛ a yɛbɛdi akyire aba bepiem ɛwɔ waseɛ hɔ na yɛtumi ɛde ayarehwɛ ɛde ayɛ den abrɛw afei nso obi a wanya kɔmpɔ na kɔmpɔ no agyina omini mu na ɛwɔ no ode akyia ama wopɛ ɛno aduro unya baabi baako pɛ Banheba Center yaseɛ hɔ ba bepiem hɔ a yɛde abibiduro ɛbɛyɛ den ɛbɛtu aseɛ ɛde ama wo so wade wo ho na wafa ontoma pɛfra sɛne bɛyɛ a ɛnkɔba ne sɛ kɔmpɔ yade yi sɛne ɛtete wɔ nipadua mu no ɛde ɔhaw ɛne amaneɛ ɛba bepiem ɛwɔ wo so afei nso Banheba Center ɛyɛ company ɛyɛ adwuma efiti adwoada ekokopem ɛyɛ ɛda memenda ɛne nti na abrebi aba bepiem hɔ no ɛyɛ ɛgye wo so anase obɛba behu mpanifo hɔ a ɔmbɛma wo ayarehwɛ a wo so ohwehwɛ ɛne nti no yɛhyɛ adwuma sɛ ɛyɛ anopa nonson ne yapon enumere nonum ti abrebi aba bepiem hɔ bia no ɛade a obenya ɛho ayi ɛne nti no hyɛ ne so na Fred number no na bra bepiem ɛwɔ yɛahyɛ hɔ ɛyɛ 0244 988 004 0244 988 004 yɛbɔ mrane sɛ Baachemfo Heba Center de oba be pimo ya hye ho a ogyadie nyina ade a ebedwane ade a intimi nsa wo ho ne obi a ose anase wani na ye oya saa yade menu de anya de intimi sa na mom no yade bi etete de se na edi kankan na edi kan se bi a enye ofre ene afro no akonom no abodama na be pimo Ba Heba Center edi tu
Heba Center
Onyaro wenina ebijane.
Me that's bebre.
Miss that's boss.
All right, so that's it live in Accra 100.5 and I'm so say ye be ya juma bebe bia wote menka bia no. Wote trotro mu, wote taxi mu bia wo bia no me pacho ko bi kan bro say chelase na yenkaja entum enfama. Let's do this.
Nana Kwabena Bobie Ansah. Berema be meti garafuru kube puntimpuna si sokode. No wakanchira katabing say you wati unkensen. Kwabena keja guma mni yanko.
Me pacho ene mami inflow or rhythms kakra wai. Meba mami hiti ya fidie kakra.
It's dancing time.
Saya Sign
Onyomi nejeje obodo ibo onyezi na boy iyalani mani jebe bikolo jebo anyi nejei inataki kudani akumu wanebelo sili nani mbosi nejeje William emeka nwa mambala simukule Yakenege tibe wibumu wanuno kamala Kwambosi kosilije Mwa mambala ndezeni balani Onye mweli mwe kwalito Onye tuzili tulito One dona kwakona One dona kwakona Osile meka nwa mambala se mutala ule kuijaba kwambosi kosilije ule kuijekene kumu wafununo kafakolo Liverpool kani position wejebe onedede bata sheluje no debe Manchester na papa Onsi banani bujegu wejebe Birmingham onedede William meka nwa mambala ndene di mma Onyo mani du so ifilo lani erika Ekene dini yo Onede dona pagoda Onasu onede dona pa Osile bule bule Onyomi nejeje obodo Igbo onye si na akpọ ihe obia William Emeka nwa mambala si mo onye amande ni bala ni bibe onede ona akpọ osile bule obia
That's right. You no go fit. Any day, any time, we are the masters. With them, your friend is side one corner. Kabai. Onase, oya, Chua. What did you say? All right, so that's it live on Accra 100.5. This is Citizen Show. Juada Branda Ukwada Yawada. What him? Saturday. And a paroni ayo. Whether a dominant pempem, Yamo joining on Facebook, on YouTube. We are grateful. Anatata is here. Lampard, Jonathan Awute from Asamanka say Bismarck Koka, Roland Blassa Toklo, Emmanuel Tai, Yakini Kadiri. Thank you so much. Yote Isaiah. Rosie, what did them? What for Pierre? Rewind. Zaya. Quiet. Accra FM Newsroom, thank you so much. Tadi FM. DJ Brokosu, Fabia FM, West End FM, Habaya, Nkangas, yeah. Run. Side. Consider yeah. Zinde. Denka. That's right. And I said, come on, the production crew, me down, and I see an annual. And that's Kwame Kwacha first one they call him. And that's what we are the people pop salada. In case on the touchline. Mediana na Kwabena Bobie Ansah. The old soldier, the old lion, the last man standing, Commander Bohama, till 10 p.m. And that's how we do it. Hey! Kofi Ghana, or send a wife Francisca. David Paul, you can't stop a moving train. Young boy, Tara! And I'm a young maybe. I'm in the next 3 minutes. Why? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Alaji Dantata. I'm friend your man kakra. One, two. Abba. All right, so that's it. My man, that takrade for us. Yes, sir, Anaji, Washington Bay. We are grateful. Class Media Group CMG. All right, so yaba yadamu nyinase yada nyumre yaba yadwuma but mame mbo KKD video bia obidi send me na metie video na wi ano and I don't know yeah I am somebody send you
yeah
what's he
I'm in chatting.
Okay, so I already. So I hope sir, mo sound me okay. Mo sound me okay.
I read a report yesterday that broke my heart. I saw how much Ghana owes, but I also found that apparently the Minister of Finance's company or former company is a transaction advisor to the monies we borrow. So as Ghana gets poorer, the Minister of Finance's company or former company gets richer. Is this what we want to continue in this country? Do we want to re-elect people into office, give them their pay and their perks, and then allow them and their friends and their companies or their former companies to be the very beneficiaries of the woes of our country? This is not only about the Minister of Finance. This is about Parliament. Parliament, you must be ashamed of yourself. You have failed the people of Ghana. Because I don't think from the time of Nkrumah to date, whoever is the Minister of Finance should be benefiting every time our country goes to borrow money. Is that what happened under everybody in this country? What precedent are we setting? Yesterday when I read the report, I was so broken. And I was like, do people know this? So I called 4 different people. Some in civil society, some in government, some in the former government. And they said, oh, but this is general knowledge. And I'm like, it's general knowledge and Parliament thinks it's okay. So whoever wins the next election will also set up their own companies and be the transaction advisors when we go and take a loan. What is wrong with us as a people? So the person's motive for even going for a loan for me now is not clear. Because every time we take a loan, their company makes money. Does this make sense to us as a people? Look, we have leaders of industry, some who have been, deprived of their finances. And in the meantime, the people who are sitting in power are stealing us blind. And all people can tell me is, oh, but this is general knowledge. And then Jimmy and Kwasiasem Nekosu. What a shame. What a damn shame. When they are out of power, will they want whoever comes into power to repeat what they are doing? This is not NDC MPP. Parliamentarians, you are supposed to help us protect the public purse. You can't just go and sit there and vote, I am MPP, I am NDC. Vote your conscience and vote your constituency.
What are you expecting the MPs to do?
The MPs? But you cannot become the transaction advisor for going to take loans when you are the Minister of Finance. How is that possible? They are the legislators. If they won't speak up about it for the whole country, but for me taking time to read this much over the weekend and yesterday, I wouldn't know the details of this. So now go and bring all the loans we have taken and show us all the transaction advisors and see whether they have links to the presidency or the people who are the ministers or the people who are in legislature. Why are we doing this to ourselves? What kind of nonsense is that? Hey,
if there's a conflict of interest,
conflict of interest is where it starts.
So Shrine should be on the ball on this one.
And where are they? Where are they? Look, right now Ghana has become each one for himself, God for us all. I was speaking to one of my staff yesterday. He says, "Boss, I went to buy gas. 14-kilo cylinder now is 152 Ghana cedis. 150 Ghana cedis to fill the cylinder. 2 Ghana cedis for the rubber. When I take 152 Ghana cedis out of my 1,400, how much is left? Now water is going up, electricity is going up, and some people who we have put into positions of authority are raping the country. Why? Why? Sikahiana Mubedi. You are leaving it for your children, and your children know you are doing this, and your children will come and tell other people's children that mo papa and mo bra, because you were stealing from the people. So those people whose parents did not steal from the people will be suffering. And your foolish children will come and tell those children, mo papa and mo bra. They be, mo papa and yesika. What is this? And nobody wants to talk about it. Because if you talk about it, they will impoverish you. Hey, massa. Obi nkumwa. Wow. If nobody kills you, you will die your own natural death.
Thank you very much, Chrissy. Went from ghost names swiftly to conflict of interest, but that's how it happens on this show.
Which is worse, that conflict of interest or the ghost names? How much are they taking from those ghost names? It's bad, but there are things that are worse, and those things are being committed by the people that we have elevated into positions of authority to be our guardian.
Just for Abembia Ayelazuno. I join here in the studio. So we have a very fruitful discussions today. Then we have my very good friend and NDC communication team member Haruna Amaliba and Kingsley. But and I have about Jumana my name in your list to a D sa tape we won't a KKD as we won't come on. And very interesting no KKD as ya raise baby a woman say just last week and already adebina ohun ade kra AC with respect to Kenufuriata any akufo adonum krono bone ya omudi oban no. And these are some of my issues about Nkrofo like KKD. Kenufuriata disaboni way for 5 solid years. 5 years. Yeah, de bien wa. Many listo were ne ba Mugabe no other civil societies, NDC MPs. De bien wa yanya ye kroma. And interestingly, even him, eya otimi kenkai adie. Just last week, and you can imagine those who can read, and if those are the hinterlands, still AC. Which means even as we are speaking, people don't take interest in knowing exactly what is happening in Ghana. Giononima can offered me the bonny way for 5 solid years. On one that. And what the studio and answer what them you might blame him. Say what in why d say on that. But what is the issue? The issue is we don't take interest in our daily national affairs because media politician, media politics. Wouldn't say adia every decision biano a politician's decision and a determine life. I don't have any problem with my brother KKD, saying it now. But I'm shocked that I did work for so 5 years and Niema a Boniface and Bernard. For all you know, KKD names a Gregory. Yamani bail, but Obi. So on Prima Gregory in free prison. For all you know,
that's highly possible to so many years.
To so many years. And that is
many
why
many have not heard it.
Yes, and that is why we keep on telling them that take interest. And the type of KK comes to and Crawford, me a journalist, me a neutral. What is the meaning of me a neutral? Neutrality in color to say.
When every decision affects you.
When every decision affects you. Unim Ansah. Why do you know that you're a broadcaster, you're a media practitioner, so you don't talk about issues? You can't criticize and comment.
And you do editorials.
You don't do editorials. Even Daily Graphic, they do editorials. So you saw a microphone. And only my dear Enye. Say, if something is good, you don't know. If something is bad, you don't know. When you go and sit at a pub, a one hour watch a wagon. Why we in Sabuno? Yeah, wagon, I say, I want them. A one hour watch a wagon. When you are saying, and also microphone, now, what such hundreds, thousands, and millions of people communicating to them through the airwaves. And that is where you need to put your opinions out, whether good or bad. Be a citizen. That you put your opinions out for people to know that this is your opinion. Then people will start scrutinizing your opinion. What's there be? So that you can jump from NDC and go to MPP and jump from MPP and go through there. There be an way who say, oh, me are there. We are there. We are there. Because there's so much boys know and come on with the no from multimedia to a year comes to kind of because come on with the we are there. They are very near. Oh, we have friends. Oh, this man is my very good friend. Oh, when we near, they are my very good friend. So as someone else will be an anon kakrano on for unknown interest. You are a foolish person. Yeah, but I'm in the idea we won't come on. And I employ a KKD that they should start taking keen interest. And your man a question. They should start following. So we take a keen interest. After the bedroom baby no, and you've been already you know, and you rise Ghana for the catch on sorry. Debbie. Oh no, sorry. So they should take interest.
You see, taking keen interest in national subjects, a lot of people, sometimes we misconstrue them to be the swing voters. They cannot be swing voters. See, a swing voter, anywhere developed and civil community biana or informed, but weigh options
exactly.
But when only option, but or try even in an election year, or try to hear the echoes without knowing what may have happened. The very remote incidences
and SCA and that is negligence.
You see, well, in some, you know,
that is negligence.
But you see,
how can you live in a country you can read, you can write, and you don't take keen interest in our banking sector? What happened for them to close these banks?
Because
when you are reading through the banking sector, you definitely know what data bank is doing.
Yes, you would. But you see what happens, they say, until very recently, and look, Akufo-Addo's becoming president has helped a lot of Ghanaians to now awaken themselves in their spirits. Share MPP NDC thing, no? You see, when Brony wants to divide and rule you, or try to bring Adiebe divide them, so what TBB for NDC? You don't want to go further because a NDC, whether you're good, whether you're bad, you don't want to go further. What TBB? That's how your NDC. That's how for MPP. You wouldn't want to go further because you are divided on party lines, and so you don't want to reason with anybody. One person only obibe ya adwen krana. Na NDC are there the main kind then. You don't want to read. And no say MPP for say and then they want NDC manifesto, but they don't know. Likewise, NDC. What must I say? Maybe because Akufo-Addo is governing, and NDC for will take keen interest in reading the MPP manifesto, not for the purpose of wanting to know what they wanted to do, but for the purpose of criticism. Okay, so we went to me. Okay, so we went to me. And so the party lines are divided. Emma, Obia Jayane say, oh, MPP for NDC for Masem. So those that do not want to partake in national, a deliberate attempt by politicians to allow them to be part of the public discourse, because
anyway,
ebema ni interest what ebi a MPP mu akọ, ebema ni interest what NDC mu akọ, entino sani pano se share topic bi asia oh MPP for hono mu say afibo say na watching ho
anyway
eno e kan ho bi what are musicians in particular. Para, and I mean, okay, say, Kumawood, Agu,
yeah,
and it Agu because a buying, as I say, yeah, Aguno. In the past, they discussed Doomso. Meboa, Kumawood for they discussed Doomso.
Yeah,
me, I'm a ground. Me who saw discussing Doomso say, Doomso be good, Dumano. Meboa, and a canyon is so. Directors, no way, producers, no way. Kania no nipa na muso na dum no enyo na dum no waso and can the predecessor so ya e ko no nko metu dum so waso but ene kuma would nagu e dey na ama nagu. They are sitting on the fence, they don't want to discuss. Meanwhile they know say a banking collapse mainly and nagu dum so a friend say agu kuma would because producer no be produce no banking money loan.
All right, so
and
we'll
it cuts across. Musician, they know about your friend is saying national discussion BMU. They say, oh, for example, remember a very typical example. Emra Lumba ball no. Okay, Lumba ball sana na do e wina no. And na me wo that time near Fox. And I make catch obi. Me knew a heated argument say Lumba ball nyuma me Akufo-Addo. But Lumba will still be Lumba. Because Lumba has not ever decided say sa discussion akoso say me that the Lumba and you me bo me Akufo-Addo me bo political track no me jai me nyum ama for discussion be cancel on be can fa me ho away me down. Lumba will not do that. But I know be bo nyum a kwesi swat ne nyuma oboyi say hu chinwa shi obi bai ema no aka say ye fa nyum ne kwese capitasi. Okay. I didn't know you papa say yeah and you more air
so what is the point?
The point is that Obi and person will be partaking in national discourse because they feel say they will be victimized.
Anyway.
What do I say?
Anyway.
But with time, you know, Obi abeye because kakraba kwani.
Remember live on Accra 100.5 quick one. About me wo video be a young adwuma but demonstration be koso. I am Arise Ghana. Ye wo a press conference what chana. Arise Ghana a press conference watchna kese baako pa ewo press center na yɛbɛyɛ ɛho adwuma in course of discussions and the same thing saa nso ɛna demonstration kɛseɛ ɛba so ɛwɔ Tamale prof dabɛn
Saturday, next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay, so we have Professor Jasper Abembia, Association Professor of Political Science and Vice Dean of Faculty of Communication and Cultural Studies. Our studio I say and Onona Oye convener at the Emma demonstration. Your friend Missim demo. Pacho, I say
Missim is my tree is a bit.
Yes, I know.
It's not that good.
I know.
But Missim is the Gwani word, which captures. It means hardship. Hardship. So basically, it means that this demonstration is against the crushing hardships that Ghanaians are facing, especially those who are based in the northern part of the country. You know, the northern part of the country is the most underdeveloped part of the country.
So, Prof, give us a background to this demonstration.
This demonstration follows from the Arise Ghana demo, which set us thinking. Because I participated in the
Yes, I saw you
demo.
and granted interviews to other media houses and all that.
So, whilst I was leaving Tamale, colleagues of mine said, why don't we organize the same thing in the northern part of the country? So before I even left Tamale, we just put up a WhatsApp platform saying we want to also organize a demonstration against the hardships in the country, especially in northern Ghana. And before I could return to Tamale, more than 100 people are signed on.
Really?
Yeah, comprising all kinds of a cross section of people, both employed and unemployed, unions, informal workers.
Can you mention some of the unions?
Tailors, Fitters Association.
Okay.
You have Hairdressers Association.
Okay.
You have Farmers Association.
Okay.
You have Market Women Association. You have Welders Association. You have Yellow Operators Association.
That is Okada.
Millet Growers Association.
Yes, I mean, it's a cross section of groups and people. That's why we have named it Progressive Forces in Northern Ghana. So we see it as a non-partisan movement. So, I mean, this is not about NDC, MPP. As we
Progressive Forces
in Northern Ghana, coalition of progressive forces in Northern Ghana. So we are following the example of the Arise Ghana demonstration.
Wonderful.
Which actually set us, it looks like most Ghanaians are sleeping. And that's the point you were making. It looks like we are almost hypnotized. Like people are under some opium. Karl Marx described it as the opium of the masses. Religion as the opium of the masses. But it looks like party politics in Ghana has become the opium
Prof,
of
I know
the masses.
definitely the first question people will ask, probably they will ask about your involvement, that why should a professor of your caliber get yourself involved in this?
Because if you check all over the world, academics,
we hardly see academicians
coming
out leading such.
Yes. Academics are not supposed to just be into research, teaching, and administration. There's one aspect of academic work that often get missing because we are always talking about teaching, research, and then publication, and that is community participation. As an academic, you have to participate in the community life of the country that the university is based. That's where you connect the academy and society. You don't just stay at the Ivory League and just engage in some esoteric theories that do not actually improve the lives of the people. So one of the things that academics do is to speak truth to power.
Wow.
And that is one of the things that the likes of Professor Dubois, Paf Ansah did when, even in those days of the, the Rawlings dictatorship, when people, it was called the culture of silence. You saw that the likes of Professor Dubois and Paf Ansah,
all over the place.
yeah, they came. They spoke. And so it gets to a certain stage or history, part of the history of a country, that you just have to come out as an academic. And this is exactly what we are seeing today. Because you were just explaining, it looks like this particular government has some kind of entitlement to misgovern and then claim that people should not criticize. Just imagine the arrogance of that we see around. It looks like people think that they can have the right because they belong to a certain class.
Do whatever
class.
they want to do and get
they belong
on
to a
with
certain
it.
class. So because they belong to that class, you don't have the right to criticize them. So they can be engaged in any form of corruption. And then people shouldn't speak. When you speak, they say, oh, you are NDC. I mean, come on. We are Ghanaians. And they, by the way, the president urges to be citizens, not spectators. So one of the grievances that is driving this.
So how are you dealing with this tag of you being an NDC?
I actually don't care whatever people will say about me, because the party that I have, the party that you can identify with me, and this is captured in all my writings. I'm not somebody that I have a paper trail. I have a paper trail in my social media all the time, even before this government came to power. I have a paper trail in my writings. And in all my writings, I talk about social justice for the ordinary person. So you tag me the way you want, but anybody who Googles me, and I've written a lot, in where I champion the causes of the ordinary person. So you can say whatever, you can put me, tag me with NDC and all that. When you check my social media trail, you see that I have been talking about these things. When you check my writing, you see that I've been for the ordinary person. So for me, my party is the ordinary person.
And within the academic fraternity, how are they receiving you?
It's unfortunate. I don't see a lot of my colleagues coming cheering me. I rather see, when some people, they see me, then they get to know that I'm the one, because people don't know me. Even if but within the academy, I don't see anybody giving me thumbs up for what I'm doing.
Neither criticisms.
Even actually a smear campaign was put against me when I participated in the Arise demo.
Really?
And it originated from the university that I'm talking about.
Which university?
My university, UDS. Yes, because this government is very, very, very good in our communication. Immediately I participated in the demo, they started looking for debt against me just to put it out. And they didn't find anything. Academics, the worst debt they can throw at you is sexual harassment of students or sex for grades. They looked for that, they didn't get. So what they could hang on was that I normally travel during the break to Canada. My family lives in Canada. So during break, I get permission to travel. Oh, he goes there, he's corrupt. He goes there, he stays there, and he's taking salary. So that's what they got, and they put it through, and it was all over social media. That was the attack on me. But do I care? I know that they should bring corruption to that level. That I go to Canada for 3 months, even though on permission, and collect. They should bring corruption to that level and define corruption at that level, and then we'll see how many people will get in this country
and associate same to the president,
to the president. So I'm prepared to go to that level, and I'm happy that by my activism, corruption has been defined to that level where even intellectuals can work from anywhere. But if they have defined corruption to such a level that even if you are on leave or you are away on permission and you collect salary is corruption, fine, I agree. But let us apply it across board. And then now let's measure the quantum of money involved. when we are going to talk about corruption, we shouldn't just talk about corruption as if, police are corrupt. What is the quantum of money that police are corrupt for?
So, Prof, quickly, let's just go to the field and do the groundwork. So, what are some of the pressing issues, driving this demonstration?
The most pressing issue is that the prices of goods in Tamale market, is shooting through the roof daily.
Give me an example.
Like you can buy, I talked to one woman who talked about Maggi, the Maggi that they use in cooking.
Mm-hmm.
He said you can buy Maggi today. They I don't know whether it's a package, a pack of Maggi. Then you come and retail.
Yeah.
He said he bought it for an amount about 250 or something, an amount like that, and was selling thinking that he was making profit. Actually, by the time he finished selling, not knowing that he was making a loss because he had to pay even more than 50 cedis to get even what what he was selling. It shows the level at which prices are changing, which is because of
food prices.
Food prices. Yes.
Can you talk about yam?
Yam, and now yam has started coming. But before, you just you can get a tuber of yam like 3, and it is 50 cedis. And then you go. The other time I went to buy granules. I like to, I'm a gruesome man, so we use granules to prepare soup. Yeah. I like to eat that one. I went and bought a bowl of granules for 25 cedis per aloka. The next time I went to Bolga to buy, they say 40 cedis, and it's not up to 1 month. So yesterday we held an open forum in the Tamale market, thanks to Radio Tamale.
You have the videos with you?
Yeah, the videos are there. I mean, I wish I didn't give it to them, but okay. it is on my Facebook. Okay. The people came, and this had nothing to do because we didn't know who was who, which party the person belongs. And people came and they were crying. Market women were talking about how people are not buying their goods. Market women are talking of how when they are selling at a loss, and then some of the things are perishable. They come. People are not buying because people have no money. Ordinary people talking about how they cannot afford to pay for the cost of goods that they need. So you see people talking about not even being able to, eat 2 square meals a day. Especially women. They say they come and then they carry their things around Tamale. They are not buying because there's no money. Prices are going up. Meanwhile, those people who have to buy don't have the money to buy. So it's a complete serious crisis that people are facing. This is not a joke. I mean, I do good. I mean, as a professor, at least the value of my salary has come down by more than 50 because of the inflation and because of the
so meaning you spend above what you take.
The runaway depreciation of the city. So you know that goods are indexed to the dollar. Exactly. So if I were collecting 10,000 as my salary in January, just imagine where the dollar is now. It has reduced to 5,000. So that means, academics are suffering. Those who are in the middle class are suffering because the value of their incomes have been devalued because of the galloping or inflation, because of the runaway depreciation of the cedi, and because of the fact that cost of goods have shot through the roof to the extent that you cannot afford it. I mean, people mention gallon of oil. Some people say it used to be 50 and now it has gone to 100 and something. Kilos of people talked about rice. So the staples that people use, that we all consume, food staples, people cannot afford because the prices are tripling, quadrupling. And on a weekly basis, this economy is underwater. And
when it comes to infrastructural development in Tamale and beyond Tamale, can you give us a picture?
They say a year of roads. That's what the government says, a year of roads. If you get out of Tamale, the main Bolgatanga road and other main roads, any connecting road you go on is dusty. And you can't imagine people living.
So you can't cite one major road.
One major road.
You can't cite one.
One major road is the so-called
the flyover.
The flyover, which you don't see many cars flying over anyway.
Why?
Who wants to fly over there?
But with that, at least the government has done something.
Did they ask the people of Tamale what they need? The people of Tamale don't have many places. They don't have potable water. Many places they don't have decent places of convenience. Many places the connecting roads are so dusty. The people staying there are just inhaling dust all the time. And you put that thing there and that is one of the things that we have to normally look at. Do politicians think of the people when they are planning a project? I don't think so. They think of their own legacy. Because this president is saying, I was the first to put a flyover in northern Ghana. So that means what is informing that the sighting of that project there is the fact that it's about him.
It's not about the needs of the people.
No, it's about him. So he will take a plane, come and do what they call it, shortcutting to start the project. And then he will take another plane and come and commission it. By the way, that 2 times coming, the cost could have built a chief's compound in about 3 or 4 villages.
But one will argue that one of the president policy, that is the 1 dam.
One dam, one village. One village, one dam.
Okay, yeah. So we have the people at the northern region who benefited most from that policy. Is that right?
I don't see them.
Why?
Because you go to my village.
Probably you don't go searching.
I've gone around. You just do.
Is it that you go searching and you don't find them, or they haven't done anything? Which is which?
Some you see, some they are just they dry in there. Immediately the rain stops, they dry. So they have become ponds.
Is that the reality in town when you go to Tamale? Is that the reality in town when you go to Tamale that the people will tell you that look, we don't see anything?
Some people would point. I mean, to say they don't see anything is a bit of an exaggeration. How can you spend that much money that you have allocated to the whole country and say you will see something? You will definitely see something. But that something, does it measure to the amount of money, the quantum of money spent for that something? And will that something be sustainable? So if you are saying one village, one dam, what is the nature of the dam? A dam is not just a dam. It's not just that you just construct anything and it's a dam. A dam should be something, should have certain features, which means that you go in and you really see a dam, and that dam can serve people. It's a good policy. If every village can get a dam and it's a dam with the name called dam, it is going to help a lot of people. Because the other time we were asking about, we did a research in Avrongo, the women were pointing to how the dam helps them, because it allows them to draw water to water their dry season vegetables. So it helps them. Dam is really good. It's a good policy. The problem with this government is that the policy are just in slogans. They are very nice, but when you go to the ground, you don't see anything. This is not about saying something to discredit a particular government.
Okay, so let me do some quick messages here. One from Suleiman Muntari says hi. Okay, so Sule, thank you for joining us on Facebook. We have Ellie Bird says Professor See Nothing. Okay, Obed McGebb says I've never seen a lazy president like Akufo-Addo. Elibed says, so Bobie, this is what you are good at. Complaints. Such unbridled display of needless partisanship is nauseating. Okay, so when you think it's about complain, just tell me one thing. Akufo-Addo, in demanding complaints. I mean, so ultimately pointed chambers are the way Akufo-Addo ayena and you guys so obia complaining. I mean, then we are good to discuss it. Rabiatu Ibrahim says, God bless you guys. Abdul Aziz Al Hassan says, this is a service to Mother Ghana. Prof, carry on. We are behind you. Can't wait to join you on Saturday. Demia Gam. Rocky Agble says, hello Bobie. Okay, so thank you. Yawemchi says, good evening, Commander. And your crew, thank you, Yao Enchi. Then we have Musa Abatwa says Ghanaians are concerned about the measures being put in place to mitigate the hardship we are going through. Unfortunately, when you ask them to fix the economy, they blame Mahama. Fix the roads, they blame Mahama. Operationalize the completed hospitals, they blame Mahama. Continue the abandoned E-block, they blame Mahama. Don't increase tariff because Ghanaians are suffering, they blame Mahama. If they cannot fire their side chicks, they blame Mahama. Good for them, Baumia are impotent, so they should leave the throne and allow Mahama to continue building the nation. I salute lawyer Ivan Samankwa. All right, so this one is coming from Musa Abatwa in Kumasi. Thank you so much, Musa. And we have Nati Bongo here. Isaac Dunn says, our warriors, more fire. We support you guys because you fight for the ordinary man on the street. Komensa Player 2 says, breaking the 8 is on the way coming like Kakai, and the prof is afraid. Prof, okay, so how do you answer this?
I'm not afraid of anything. Why am I afraid? I mean, they should rather be afraid. And one of the dangerous thing about this, what is happening, is that it feeds into the general picture that we have in the world. You know, we used to talk about how democracy is taking root across the world. Now, political scientists are beginning to talk about how democracy is declining. And some of the things that we are seeing in Ghana is what makes people to think that democracy is on the decline. And it is, yes, because you see, the type of democracy we run in Ghana, in the cultural context that we have, it has divided Ghanaians between two dominant parties to the extent that the ordinary people will support their political party till they don't see anything wrong with it. And this is to both NDC and MPP. And that's why you were talking about people not waking up. I remember when we started distributing our leaflets, you see some people crowded in a yellow. Really poor people. You say, no, it's not hard for them.
Really?
Yes. And it's not that you are talking to somebody who is riding a Porsche car and you can say, he's crowded in a yellow, which means that he's a suffering person. But because of the loyalty to the party, he thinks that you are trying to bring my party down. Like my party being his party or her party. I mean, how do you possess a party? And it's the same thing in the US. Can you imagine where Republicans who used to believe in certain ideals of democracy can now turn around and say whatever Trump was doing was right? And for that matter, they will support it. And look at some of the horrible things he can say and get away with. Could Obama have gone away with such things? It's the same way. Any other person, what is happening in Ghana now looks like a certain privileged group of people are in power, and for them, we should cut them some slack. Or they even think that they are entitled to misgovern without being held accountable. And that is what has set some of us talking, and damn the consequences. He can say we are scared about breaking the 8 coming. Fine, they can go ahead and break the 8, but some of us will keep talking, and some of us will keep mobilizing people to demonstrate against misgovernance and mismanagement of the Ghanaian economy. And it is really it's scary where the economy is going. I'm even afraid that it will come to a time my salary will not even be able to buy the basic things that I need.
Prof, are you sure the people of Tamale are ready to join you in this demonstration?
We are thinking. We have done a lot of community engagement. Like I said, we went to the villages. And
how is the feedback from the people?
The feedback is like when you meet about 10 people, at least 8 people say, I'm with you. But you definitely have a few people who say, my party is in power, so I'm going with my party. I don't care whatever you say. So we are hoping that it is going to be massive, but the only problem is that a lot of things are happening in Tamale now. The NDC regional chairman has died. So if supposing NDC people were supposed to come out and support this march, it may happen that they are concerned about the funeral of their regional chairman.
So you have a definite date for this?
20th of August, next Saturday. The police have mapped up a strategy. We met them yesterday, and they are giving us the go ahead. And
so with the coming up events, do you have any intention of maybe postponing it?
No. We are going ahead. The important thing is to make. I mean, even
if it's one person,
we are going to have our placards ready. We will communicate directly to we only urge that the media should be there to capture the placards that we have made.
So you just want the information to go out there. The message to go out there. It
looks like the presidency is sleeping. I mean, some of the things that they say I mean, can you imagine saying that your ministers, their output is wonderful, is superb, they don't need to shuffle? I mean, you can say you won't reshuffle your cabinet, but don't say their output is superb. I mean, you say the agric minister, for example, planting for food and jobs. People are, where are the jobs? And where's the food? And then you say he's performing. The Minister of Finance came promising that he will restore this economy from the crisis that they allege it was during the Mahama time. Now the economy is basically underwater. You can say Ukraine, Russia, Ukraine, you can blame COVID. President Kufuor used to say, speak the ordinary man's economics. Say, check your packet before you vote. So say whatever you want about microeconomics, say whatever you want about external forces, explain use the theories that you want. The important economics to the ordinary man is your packet. And this is something that President Kufuor managed to really make very popular and really capture the imagination of poor people. Just check your body. If you say the economy is good, whether it's external forces, you promise to govern. You promise to improve the well-being of the people. The people want you to deliver on your promises. Don't stop blaming. And that is the annoying thing. Just refusing to take responsibility. One of the good signs of a leader or a good trait of a leader is to accept responsibility, is to accept blame where he or she sees that really he has made a mistake. But it looks like this crop of present leaders think that they never make mistakes. And for that matter, it's either the fault of the previous government or external forces.
But before
it's
you
so
go,
annoying.
Before you go, Bawumia is one of your own. And how do you assess him?
Bawumia is really a disgrace to the academia. You know, when I'm not good in statistics, but one of the lessons that I learned from my statistics lecturer in Legon is that, guys, statistics is good. It can give a very good picture to capture what is happening. But guys, you can use statistics in a dubious way. And that is what we are seeing Bawumia doing. He can just parrot all the statistics. And for the ordinary person, you see them cheering him. But when real economists look into them, it's dubious. And that is some of the things that, I don't know, politicians, when you should have an image to protect. I mean, how can you say you have arrested the city and locked it when you know that this is the president who said we operate a Gogisberg economy? And one of the challenges of the Gogisberg economy since it was established in Ghana is that it's always under the influence of external forces. A Gogisberg economy means that it's a weak economy. Its foundation is weak. Structurally, the economy cannot withstand a crisis. The least thing that happens at the global level, the economy will be wobbling. So you know this. So why do you go about promising milk and honey when you know that you can't deliver? So talking about external forces is so banal, because you know that external forces is one of the things that a Gogisberg economy is always under. So why do you then promise that you know that you are operating a Gogisberg economy, you know its challenges, it's always under the influence of external forces, and yet you say you will solve all the problems. That is what you promise, deliver. So this idea of saying, it's external forces, blah, 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 and all that, nobody should take that. You can only say that to the people who haven't followed the history of the economy of Ghana, which shows that since the slave trade, throughout to colonialism to present day, the economy of Ghana has been under external forces. This is not the first time. I mean, the former president who took blame for Dumso, are you saying that the generation of electricity is not something that is beyond the control of the Gogisberg economy? Because the technology that is needed to generate electricity is not something that Ghana can manufacture, or can build. The Akosombo dam or the Volta dam that generates electricity, if rain is not falling, will it be able to generate electricity? Other forms of technology that Ghana doesn't have on its own. But the former president took responsibility. That's a sign of a good leader. But it looks like we have an arrogant group of leaders who think that, well, for them, they don't make mistakes. Oh, it's rather the fault of the former government. They created such a mess. And it's so annoying to the extent that once you take over the reins of the state, the people have voted the other government out and voted you in. That means they believe in you. So you cannot now turn around and say, oh, by the way, it is the fault of the other person. That is why they voted you to solve the problem. So that excuse is so weak and annoying, actually. But most Ghanaians don't know. They just say, yeah. So they are good in trying, spewing out all these things. And if you don't take time, if you are not very well educated, you will be captured by what they are saying. But actually, they have failed. They promise to deliver. The ordinary person should hold them accountable. That's why Saturday, the media gam. We invite the media. You should send your people to come and cover. Because that's the purpose.
Sure.
Even if it's 100 people.
And on behalf of the Arise Ghana group,
yes, you should come. I don't know whether the Kumasi demo is coming or not.
Yes, it is.
So we will come from
Tamale.
From Tamale, we come to Kumasi.
Okay.
And you should continue to all the regions.
Sure.
You know what politicians fear? They fear demo. And
action.
Yes, they fear, especially in this era of demonstrations that have led to certain governments, presidents running away, like Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to South Africa, it's demonstrations that have led to progressive governments. So people are telling me, but it won't lead to anything. If we continue, if we sustain it, the problem is that we come and then it dies. But if we sustain it, every government, this government and any government that is coming will wake up. Because the cardinal quality of democracy is that the government should be held accountable. And citizens, if they sleep and leave that responsibility, there's the tendency that, or there's a likelihood that the government can actually reverse from democracy to something similar to tyranny, or
eventually enslave the people.
And enslave the people. And
all
that's
right, thank you, Prof. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much,
Professor Jasper Abembia Ayelazuno.
Yes.
So, which means tomorrow you are in town.
I'll be in town.
Till Friday.
Till Friday.
You go back to Tamale.
Yes. Hopefully, I wish I can get
more time to deal with this issue. Yes.
Propagate our message. And invite people to come to Tamale on Saturday. Let's have fun holding the government accountable.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much for passing through.
Thank you very much.
All right. So that's it. Live on Accra 100.5. Among 4 comments, Judy Mensah says, Prof, you are right. Baumia has lost his integrity and has no shame as a northerner. And Tamaskan, all right. So that's it. Yakini Kadiri says, I am asking about one village, one dam. Maybe Sawa Kumsen has misused that money without any good use of the dam. Okay, so we have Judy Mensah says, Arise Ghana demo gave birth to hashtag hardship demo in Tamale. Yes, of course. Jonathan says, Bobie, this professor is too much. We need him more on your show every day. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Teacher Constitution, Yaman says, I know very soon Ghana will be better and the MPP are going to break the 8 coming 2024. I'm praying that the NDC will remain in opposition forever because they are one of our biggest challenges or problem in this country. Greetings to Honorable Mavis in Ansah Buedu. Okay, so Marcus Texan says, so when the people of Shama wanted to demonstrate, Marcus, check it. Why you need so carry Deborah says, Dimia gam gam. Dimia gam gam. All right, so that's it. Now, I'm all about my main and this how they went through. Now, but you play back Haruna and that gentleman. Haruna, sir, gentleman, your friend is saying.
You see, Jimmy. You can't so pass your 10 you are what 10 years to support. You just talking about. And you're ready to run here. Stupid wisdom. What to me, sir? What to me, sir? What to me, sir? What to me, sir? No. What to me, brother? I'm talking for. What to me, sir? Tell me what brother. I'm champagne. Oh, who you out to? Who you answer? Who you come? They come and come. Who you answer? What's your name? Who you answer? 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 Stop running. Who you answer? No. Who you answer?
Haruna,
senior.
What report has this idiot?
Oh, honestly, well, I'm in chair at you for the chair senior Maxwell. My report sorry, listen. My report no. I don't think it's worth it. Oh, you need to be you don't necessarily deserve some level of attention. As a matter of fact, and since I am Rebesi Sabri, my lot of calls and messages from even a bush for outside the country.
Oh, this is serious.
Yeah, Bubusa say, how come? This guy had that Pinchan character. Now, Michelle on studio Bia, I tried to manage him.
You
don't even need to see him. I tried to manage him. In this instance, it was Hot FM. I just was going to host here.
Yeah.
And the issue, initially he talked about Asama Hopes Nadoye Eka Ukumaso during a Drew demonstration when he was given the platform. That was only initial comment of interest, although it was part of topics that now be dealing with in the latter part of the conversation. And when it came to my turn, me the time no ekasafa General Legal Counsel directive for Mondebaye undertaking I was a senior and before they write exams. That was the issue I dealt with. Particularly as someone, Mr. Achampon, the Ghana Bar Association. Boafo, yes. Mr. Yao Achampon Boafo. Ghana Bar Association president some and say the fact that say Obi what I assume is so bad lawyer and it doesn't mean you can become one. That was my concern. And when Meka Masam he tried to rubbish Mr. Meka, I didn't mind him. And we got to the conversation. The issue which led to this buhaha in the studio was about the tariff. I mean, say, I buy away and yen because time when we can some more change show and then can free during the COVID. Crocodile the John, you use that freebies to buy vote. And after winning the vote, more the taxes I buy. Bola tax, COVID-19 recovery levy, and others, including the increment of the existing taxes. But early this year, a Ghana Water Company and a UCG a prompted public may increase almost services cost. The reasons almost cited I had the dollar CD exchange rate differentials, and also a binary also the Maomo from Maomo. And now operations I threatened that what could you say may increase tariff cost no more they cover the difference. And the government has to take responsibility for more inactions and incompetence, especially given Sabreya or many more yet near Ghana for Bia Ebreno, Abanadesa, and you want to move Ediaba. That was my line of argument. When it got to his turn, come and see. Or started to attack President Mahama. Calling President Mahama all sort of names. To the sense that President Mahama is corrupt. And international court are indicting so corrupt. So I prompted the host that we are not here to discuss the personality of Mahama. We are here to deal with the issues. Only if he can. He should call him on check, especially when he is labeling a frivolous and scandalous allegations against the integrity of the former president. The host didn't control him. And to maybe start to say me interjecting, and then the bufu ya or 10 guns on me personally. And I think I have to go to the gutters with him. But let me say this now. Towards 2016 elections, NDC, I felt, in fact, at that time, I'm in party communication team. No. And I think that NDC as a party and the government machinery didn't do President Mahama any good. You know why? There are instances are President Mahama have to come and respond to allegations of the opposition, and we kept quiet. Attacks on the court, President Mahama, so you know, say President Mahama is corrupt. Wakoje, I would say, Ford, and it's no money now, was deliberately orchestrated by the opposition using some element to carry that message, across. They try so hard to discredit President Mahama and his integrity to the Ghanaian populace and to the entire world. There is a woman in the US called Eugenia Nyakua. So what in the and here I am told some I'm in California or Florida. Or try article be as early as 2018. No, I can say we in fact Daily Post have published that article. No, or say it took us 5 years to discredit President Mahama. It has taken him less than 3 years to become a hero in Africa because of our recklessness, and he was targeting the government. So as early as 2018, Ghana Forum said no. The NPP did a destructive work on President Mahama, his personality, his government, but the NDC couldn't protect him. What do you think? Say under this era, say bibi ba omampene kufuado ho and na ban ho a. Kojo Opon Kruma, the spin doctor of the regime, will call the sector minister Samne Fado. Classical example was the Sputnik V scandal. Kokwajima Menu Ankano, Oman Ministry of Information, press room. And Fred journalists, Oman for cameras and so many, just to explain to the world and whitewash themselves. But when Mahama Ford saga came, what did the government do at the time? What did the communication ministry do at the time to protect the integrity of the president? And now they have lost the debate. No more studio. So, regional, many of the government communicators, radio, what are they going to defend? And to the lives of this character I met, for instance, no more radio, they have nothing to come and talk about. They won't come with any fact because they themselves are empty. What they would do is to put Mahama on the trail and butcher him. We are no longer going to sit on the fences and allow them to drag Mahama again on the mat. And we will go with them.
Listen, what is that? Me and Ryan will be this Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. A man for us says some more tagging me, but now my ABC got cry. And it's here, and I was like, really? And I know so sweaty.
Yeah, me say we are not my busy, but the trainer. I'm saying my best studio now, boy, for the first time, and I'm take Kakra. But I have never been surprised at the comment because you see, Akufo-Addo versus Afoko, for Afoko.
Yeah.
It got to a point. Say, omote meeting Muna Afoko chair. He felt it was an intimidation. Say, Afoko be chair meeting or no Timubi. And he was always intimidated by it. And at some point, only Afoko picture be any Kwabena Japan.
Yeah.
Not Nibia what portrait Afoko no.
Yeah.
What's that picture? We can search it.
Okay, so let's move on.
Sadano or catch Afoko say, "Wo tenny," and Afoko sinya me pe, and or denya miasi say, because anything could have been the case. wo obi ko frɛ wo Achim Saka wana obuafu watwe wano sɛ twi Bible a ayɛ dada abia so Achim Saka wa wo so yɛ Saka wani a wo fra Achim
typical kronfo
Achim Saka wani na obuafu na tani nim nyansa kyɛ Kufuado pen tani Jomahama onim nyansa billion times kyɛ Kufuado ya wa ya Achim Saka boy eti me anya mwanwa na de ya na say me ya ne say Kwabena I wish I were I take so much pride in Baba while I is in the car Tenny
Ibrahim.
Yes, Ibrahim. While I is in the car Tenny because they came out Tenny in Wenyeska, and their pride is that Tenny in Nyansa town. Onimajuma wa Bobra town. But for the Tenny in Kauda hospital kauye. And tough for you no more Tigana Hano. Kwabena, why any bet me I catch him say Tenny and to me more bra. Omumu sign them Kozukun chain. Any madian chain. And then you can't Ghana lawyer for my being. Yeah,
when you go there playing.
I mean, you can tell of in Tafua or my being. Yeah, or more say, or more from Montafua, or more book no crown, or more can you Montiasie. 10 year old MPP moi, yes, what beno, necessarily by me, I want bonte crow, ya at two at a joa. A crew at two at a joa. 10 years now, or no, the MPP at China would be a Kufuado at Chino. Ya wa bono. Or no, and I wouldn't be chat any wimpoa. Nipana or cateni no. I can can't grow any.
Oh, now, sir, ocean, no one, the 2 hour share, a Maliba one.
What bone check crew?
I mean, straight away, you can see a mismatch.
You see, when you take them on a debate and they are unable to understand and comprehend the kind of level how
then they go tribal.
Then they go tribal, coming at your person, trying to demean you, even when they are at the diminished level. Yeah, what bong? Well, anyway, ni mami didn't go school. I was saying, can mami call in school fees? No pay you be in education. What bong?
I can't remember issues about Namwa Sempa issues. See, na Adakabre Efremi interviewer or say a MPP for the say will be when you are something you go to Korini. Now, not go to Korini for
Yenipa. Kwabena, would you say it has ever come at me, sir? Because of that guy, Bukasin.
Bukasin.
They thought, I don't see me a 10 year all around. Obi the friend was at least yes we are 10 years. I'm saying, oh, I wish I were.
That we are go to Korini. Go to Korini for Yenipa.
Oh, they were. They were me who
for my own fair.
They were me who I wish I were a 10 year. I can be a 10 year.
There be Bawye
by Krobia assessment because me we have before cry and
I know no be dim and no be dim come catch say Asante Mampon for a far you mosifo
what I say so you see some of these comments in order that it won't inflame
but listen where my problem is if say omo issues about 10 then say omantimi afre Hobson enti na be ne say boy no abe general secretary no that small boy no JFK that boy no enti ya omun say tape we and now we no they don't care and I said they won't do anything to call this guy to order and I said that is the perception in MPP so that one is okay
but still you see
and I said when you 10 year or NDC
you see as to that is also one point. Oh, Emrebi, okay, say me no net studio na baby no obi can say Baumia Bruni Tenny. Okay.
Yeah, MPP
can the refi nipa no kan na ye ka say mo sorry am say John Mahama ware besin agu Flagstaff House. Sabre no na enya empopohe kakre na aba say Baumia nya obeba be flag bearer. Na omo ba ban mu nche ana onipa ko ne kan bibi se o ba omia de oye mrofo oye Bruni Tenny ohun NDC ni a One in the United school. Oko schools one na ewie. One na awie wa bon ache kurote akufo do nya third class. University uko na nya third class and ka wo de wa nkokra nkeye. Wa bon se kuro. Wo hwe kenofori atane resource wa bon ache kuro. A level, O level kra wa pass na akoye A level. Wa bon ache kuro. And so one in the United class o. Wonya kojo MPP also onimade ache NDC ni no. Kwabra, unim say until recently a many NDC for me buy omo a me busa omo nsem na me hu say CVs a ewo NDC mu no. Look, MPP ni 1/4. CVs a me di mani hu. We dey yemfa na anaje opoko agema okro yo ba. There is nobody. Now I'm not saying Bema now about. There is nobody in the MPP that has that CV. There is nobody like her kind in the MPP. There is nobody like Kwesibotre in the MPP. There is nobody like friends saying the learned honorable
Professor Kwabena
Ahoy crowd here. Ono de no so
Professor
Kwabena Ahoy. Yeah, local government expert no. Ahoy for na na confuse me.
They have Professor Kwabena
Ahoy. Obi say Chachu Chikata.
Oh, sorry.
Who is like Chachu Chikata in the MPP? You want him before MPP mo. I'm not saying you need him before, but him before ni nyati fie. Ansah for dodo no ti fie. Na Ansah for no mo ti fie no krampo no. They can't compare. I'm telling you, I'm being factual.
It's a fact.
I'm being very factual, and without any, strings. Yes, I respect the learned and witty ones in the MPP, but they are no match when it comes to the NDC. The CVs I've cited. Chukwu Omako. Okay, let's even come to a certain level. Who is like Adongo in the MPP? Who is like Adongo? 10-year Adongo. Show me one. Who is like Adongo in the MPP? Show me who is like a friend is Okujeto in the MPP.
Very sharp guy.
Look at Sami Jenfi. Who is like Sami Jenfi in the MPP? Young boy.
Felix.
I mean, so when it comes to knowledge,
Sam George.
Now me say you say we be baby. To be very frank with you, the only reason why we tout ourselves what we tout ourselves is because we have eloquence. The Chi na dominant language in Ghana. They know better radio. Amaliba way or two way. Amaliba two way. What the Chi? At the Chi. As I say, what na Kumasi, what na Santimem, what the Chi? Ye papa. Who boy out to our didi Amaliba tem? Who Chi Amaliba Becano? One will be chow Puama Okra, who see Betown.
Name one was Jano.
Oh, but a personality. Me, family, all this while, I don't even regard school. Because, President Kufuor will let you understand, say, Amemu, a few Ansah.
What do you mean?
Usukum Pipa Jimmy, and you're ready, as you don't get ya, a kind, and yes, you don't get ya. Suku and Pipa Jimmy, but we are doctor in economics. Dollar line in a seno. What the Mayan can you feel at him? I can't carry a champion. And dollar no. That's why a doctor in economics. What the Mayan can abandon him? I can't carry a champion.
Yes, so.
Oh, now, or no, I a doctor in economics. Adongo enkura PhD, but Adongo what tie Bawumia lectures we are. The way he simplifies it, what you then as unique crowd because person just say Bawumia wa bon. When so mumi anu yenta for 10 ba ku kura PhD wa bon, je won kura PhD no wa ben. It is to simplify it no.
Bawumia on GM kura wa from their face you straight Mantia says
Bakuni Nyansa.
Bakuni Nyansa Chebako. Jomama Nyansa.
Bawumia straight. You don't need to even akolaki to akura nim say Bawumia enye ni tipe kura igbo Nyansa mu ene Mahama da kura no na wo si dan wada no pra wa bon yes wo ni Mahama nim hwe no wo si dan e ma wo Ghana ni hu say wei e na me de oman ni sika ye na wo de na Jack, where are you? And I will read sika. Adie wo ho, utimi ka say GPS abroni aye no several years before your birth. When I will buy and I'll be discover GPS. Wait, I didn't wait. A dear Juma de Bobra.
All right. So
you get 10 years, huh? Look, million won't have for more Ghana, huh? Or 10 years or knee what them. Okay, be proud, so you're 10. Tell you, maybe you're proud to be an Ashanti. Ma Kufodo, who said, no, I take a wa. Okay, the 10 years also say take a wa. Oh, yeah, you say, at Tim Sakawa, at Tim Crawford, at Tim Balawa, at Tim Jolok Pape. Okay, tell you, maybe I can tell you, or be a better tell you, Biano, or can't tell you, I'll say, Tim Crawford to Tommy Balao. No, that trainer so Crawford, Balao, a V, a Crawford for. Oh, Papa Crow, no, I will trust war. I'm more bra for, I'm top bra more bra. Catch on the pain. Tenny in Yansa, 10 no, will see a Temnatra will never walk on. 10 years, no. 10 1 year Crawford. Why you Crawford called the Bobra? Bobra wabon away. 271 below. Why the 300 below with me Mobra? Oh, Papa sick or the job cocaine cry, cocaine for cry, quote me Bobra, and now to me tongue Papa hotel no I could di. No, I swear, I'm going to be tough on at them. 10 years old, you know. Yeah, so fast one is saying, yeah, $1 so fast one is saying,
yeah, said Nana Binum a bit tape. We said, yeah, our boy no general secretary no, and Ansah. Say, Bobie adoye anka say yi no. Obi ade nani hwe. Me my match tape we befa. Na ye the petition Christian Council any other groups. So mo anka hwe a na so obi a sha because odi atema de say amelibatan inti be si jo mama so. Enti ye be ma Christian Council ne Peace Council. Say party na MPP party na anka hwe no mo say ye. Obi atimi kan sa ekwa. Fine, then we will start from there. Yeah. Anyway, me bacho mame two issues. Jema sikromu apieti ene eye free essay. So free SHS na you bet me abo. And enye JM kwana arrest issues.
Gentlemen, our educational system has witnessed a downgrade because of the policies that are currently being implemented. Sacrificing quality and introducing hidden levers of cost negatively affects our agenda to improve our national competitiveness in this competitive and complex digital age. And the situation gets worse day by day, not only in terms of quality of education in the public schools, but even in terms of the quality of the lives of the children on campus. Recently, you've seen videos of secondary school students dipping their hands into hot banku to fetch their share because the feeding is inadequate, they are very malnourished in school, and the parents have to supplement by every day providing additional provisions and money for these children to be able to feed. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not spared any opportunity to encourage this government to consider a national stakeholders conference to review the implementation of the new policy. Note that I use the word review again. This is not the first time I'm talking about a review, a stakeholders conference to review the implementation of the policy. There are so many educational professionals and experts, including in this room, many of you, who will be able and willing to bring their wealth of experience and knowledge and put it at the disposal of government to resolve the problems currently bedeviling the implementation of the free senior high school system. Free senior high school education has come to stay. It is our duty to make it affordable for both government and all stakeholders in a manner that includes but does not alienate private sector institutions. A suggestion to review the program cannot and should never be misinterpreted to mean a cancellation of the program. Several notable voices since I suggested a review have also joined me in calling for another look at the program in order to improve it. And I can mention 3 former vice chancellors of our public universities, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. I can mention Professor Ivan Adai Mensah of the University of Ghana. I can mention Professor Ernest Aite, former vice chancellor of the University of Ghana. These people have all added their voices to the call for a review of the implementation of the program. When they make these calls, they surely are not calling for a stop or cancellation of the free SHS program. Politics may have taken a better part of government's actions and pronouncements, but here we are today, and the very negative effects and impacts that I spoke about are staring us directly in the face. Today, not only is the present implementation model proving unsustainable, but it is also leading to the lowering of quality and standards in our secondary education. And so one can ask, for instance, wouldn't a bursary system that allows students to access secondary education at schools of their choice, whether public or private, not have served us better than the current blanket free senior high school system? This bursary system could have been targeted.
Free SHS. Say, baby, I didn't kick and a friend Bia sent me a message. Commander, the Greater Accra Church also issued a statement today that they may send second year SHS students home and first year students may delay returning to school if money is not released from a year purchasing.
Nia Okatama Omo Praia na say victims are never hono. Eka yeno. Oma sitran su hia. Oma brabo hia. Oma hiro mu bibia. Enti ade a friend of compensation no e wo say aban hwe na omo hwe oma dofu wuye. Omo hwe omo japade asai. Ne sa nyoma ni na me odidi say the president Ede na nutumu na okase omonya ebe baso. Yen twen enka se apiase for enko court. Emma court enko kan Ansah na ban etua compensation. Nti mesre o mampeni ene ye empenyin for se nia apiase for ekeni. Omoda aban ase ene bibi o ma ye bia. Bibi o ma atna ekopem se Ombesa ACC Adana Mamono. Omoda Abayase. And so I say on my sister so any a Japadia on my reno, I was buying any echo a home so. Kenya Nia Okatama Omo Praia and I say victims are never hono. Ekayano. On my sister Sunia, on my brabo here. On my hero Mubibia. Enti ade a friend of compensation no e wo say aban hwe na omo hwe omo adofo wuye omo hwe omo japa.
Haruna, see what TAJM on free SHS? What TA no on our PAT? And for 2 days and running there, JM has been on the road. Ochina say or call a year manfe. Udra Jumedi Kesia. Basu watchna, Ewo Manfe, and I know Otubo, right? Hey, and Ansah 25th anniversary. You sorry, 25th anniversary. Manfe, and Ansah Sasreku. Say Ansah Bia is Sasreku, Ansah Bia. Maybe say me yes Sasreku. So 2 days.
What was Sasreku? Ni Sasreku. Okasa radius.
Onia kunya. We yes Sasreku ote eye okrewi brewi ngumaso. But quick one on these two issues, Haruna.
Very well, senior. Oshe Ghana Asomaya, the Fourth Republic started in 1992.
Yeah.
Any actual constitution, I beg guided the future of the government, the future of the country, and how a governance system supposed to be run. Ghana for a DNM actual constitution. Now boom came together to facilitate in the process of leading to the drafting, adoption, and the promulgation of the constitution. And ne amayoku na say ekua edi o man nim MPP e boycott process ni na. I don't think the ban.
Objection, my lord. Objection.
They are now object.
MPP had not been birthed before that time. Please, I'm sure.
I am saying the group.
You can say some. Objection.
Objection to still overruled. One objection. Oh, you haven't taken the cue from the bench. Now go in. Oh, senior. I don't think, as part of your aspirations and visions as a minor, you capture in under Article 35 Clause 1 of the Constitution is saying, all persons shall have the right to equal educational opportunities and facilities, and with a view to achieving a full realization of that right, basic education shall be free, compulsory, and available to all. FQ. Secondary education in 8 different forms, including technical and vocational education, shall be made generally available and accessible to all by every appropriate means, and in particular by the progressive introduction of free education. Article 25 Clause 1 A and B. Now, towards the realization of this provision in the Constitution, Rawlings government, under whose tenure Samra way in a part, I remember all the district capitals in the country as at that time, was it 106 districts or more, a beer and secondary technical and vocational education. Many of them. Besides that, in Kraka say so on a Ghana ha a be. Sauba or Boasia, you were Boas tech, right? A government school, your other private schools, account. Adansia Krufum, and yet district capital as at that time, but now your Obuasi West District. Then the capital near Obuasi. But then say Krufum, a crook a and what some potemo. Adansia Krufum, and so Benya technical and secondary school. South school entertainment, me and my senior brother, and then was serving almost 18 years in Ghana Navy. You get that? In addition to this, Rawlings government no at the one public university Ebeka IUDS, the northern part of Ghana. So for the first time, a university in the northern part of Ghana, relative to objection and the southern political elite, mainly the Chemsakawa boys and Omu group and people who are affiliated to them. So there is no need to build this university in the northern part of Ghana. University better. This was their opinion, but they never believed that Northerners should have institutions of higher education. And regional capitals 10 as at that time, a BIA polytechnics. And teacher training colleges and nursing training colleges were built. New ones were established across the country. Omampinada Kufo Ebayeno. Under Rawlings' time, basic education has some level of fees and etria. But under Kufuor's time, that fees were abolished. Right? And I'll introduce you school feeding program at that level. So that was the contribution they also brought. And some schools were upgraded at the secondary level. Now, towards 2012 elections, 2008 crowd, Ansah issue we engaged the national discourse. As what time they implemented that provisional constitutional canon, particularly where the law provides that 10 years after coming into force of the constitution, and that 10 year fell in 2012. So what NDC said was that your position is saying, per the frame snaka, say introduce free education no progressively no, giving access and quality education. So that bear you no be co school no more baby partner. Now what you sure the amana dimunti. Hey approach in say. You better build 200 senior high schools across the country. And they offer a community school model near there at the buy. I could follow us at that time. I said, no. Why don't they introduce it free? And we ask him, how are you going to do it a wholesale? Because moment I'll be introducing free pay, there will be higher intake against the existing facilities, of course. And we take a cue from Adia Wampina Dakofo air before Ufra Bem because Professor Anamwa committee recommendations on the buy and provide this. So buying a bit not provide the facilities or more expanded facilities in the existing schools. No more provide teacher and learning materials. And other facilities also teachers need here no modification Kwanana. Any can say in 4 years, 3 years will be enough. But so buy intimate providers on your manner, they can increase the years not to 4. The government choose a convenient path, no more increasing to 4 years. And this year buying by 2009. By then, now form 3, 4 no echo form 4. And form 1, 4 so ever. And until form 3, 4 also come free. Now empty spaces absorb from 1, 4 no. They are all going to be in school together. And the schools will be a converted dining halls into classrooms. Libraries, dormitories, and others. Congestion on the buy we decided that let's expand infrastructure in the schools to solve that problem, which means government did impeccably well in dealing with that menace. And so a guidance into the future. That was the reason that President Mahama Bane say, see a Ghana for 2 Obamaya in 2012 elections, between 2012 to 2016, you basically 200 community day high schools.
Okay, Minia Majo.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is this mobile fund, food fund secretariat?
Yeah, this is the mobile secretariat.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is, you want to donate to that thing is basically for old boys.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I would
not for the public.
Well, we haven't gone that way, but I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't mind because you see, I know that the parents are doing something. So if you could contact the president of the Parents Association, we took a decision at a meeting that let us also do something and then go in.
All right, that's fine. That's okay. All right, so then I'll get in touch with the school authorities.
Yeah, get in touch with the school authorities.
Okay, thank you. All right. You're welcome, sir. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, okay. All right, so I don't know the problem in here. Okay, so yeah, the Aibiato page here, mobile food fund, something for our boys. Donations are urgently needed to sustain the food needs of our students in the face of current severe food shortages affecting our secondary schools. We are looking to provide bags of maize, cartons of frozen fish, flour, millet, granules, milk, Tom Brown, Gary beans, blah 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 blah. So now, Haruna baby, I could know that SN for GG.
Yes, they have to come in. They have to come in,
and it's a good initiative.
Yeah, of course, I commend them.
Since I say Greater Accra so Charles issue statement, and I have the statement here. Sesiana Madam Fubi they send me. Okay, so you know so statement no I was say non-payment of money for perishables may lead to closure of schools in the okay, so we're a northern region. Sorry, we're a northern region. We are Northern Region 1, sorry. But Greater Accra also issued the same statement on this matter. And then we have mobile food fund, almost so, so the current situation.
Yes. So, senior, NDC government under President Mahama started realizing this objective.
I know some mobes, Kwabena Japan, Drainshire can.
Okay.
And Okateche Frifa.
Okay.
Good. So by the time of Ifrabem, 123 senior high schools were started. 79 were completed. 47 were finished with Inkunya and we handed over to the government. But because of most someone no more customer Pine Kufado, Echo BBC, Yebusano, what will be the cost of your free educational policy? As someone okay, the costing. When Timia Ma Nyansamwaye Bia about it. Because he had no clue, he had no vision about how to drive the constitution. But mind you, what can you know? No Nimu say NDC position in this matter was right. Because 2015-16 academic year, we started progressive free senior high school. And then the first budget, 2017 budget, paragraph 789 captured it. And the amount of money the government used as at that time. But Obai only in this year, I won't say Obai one many wholesale. Ghana for a quarter about the year 2016. Many parents voted with the secure knowledge that Obampene Kufuor Oba or more secondary school in Omuntu fees. But he started from Form 1. Form 2.
Not Form 2, Form 3, Form 2. But every year, be another.
Oh, yeah, no, all migrate to Magana. And it's Sakawan, I want to start here. Do you get that? Very well. For the sake of time, Apiati. Yawaha and
Apiati says, can I walk and enjoy saying one or the other?
Or release ye?
Salt and pepper slay queen. Or this kind of
release ye?
No, is the salt and light.
Salt and light slay queen.
Is the light of the
world. There be scan one or the other. Or this kind of Madam I. Or this kind of other.
No, this so crop for which my answer more. But maybe me answer that question.
No, but the point is, it is the last time I heard her or say Jesus can you be back account. That was when you say it's a 15 million Ghana cedis or something. Or 30
something. something.
Okay.
I saw 15.
Oh, sorry. If you are a figure, no, this can quite 50, 60 plus.
60 something.
And this kind of plan, what they had.
Very well. Now we go forward. They profit from the calamities of the people. Now we need more.
Or they are called
so fraudulent contract to demand Nigeria need airport frontiers. During the vetting of Obampene Kufuor the ministers, Minister Bay, including the chief spin doctor of the Konyo Ponkruma, would be my answers to us about how that contract was awarded with me guys. Look, senior, and do me copy meeting biase, and come on here, and send me PA. I mean, Musa Bank of Ghana fool, your presidential sword na fine. Presidential sword. Omampeni for the Bible Quran. Also, we are what term additional you are seeing the symbol of leadership.
Now, if you have any concrete information which you know the war,
I am asking a question.
If you have evidence,
I am asking a question. What is a pure gold and a government of Ghana asset? Bank of Ghana would this year, right? In the Afa. After the second story in Obampene Kufuor, sword no,
knowledge.
You see,
have you written to them? Have you asked them?
I am asking them. But if there is a need for me to write official to them,
so do it.
I can let my lawyers write to them.
No, so do it.
Very well. I will do that. I will do that.
Do it.
So, this government is a group of criminals who came together. But let me tell you something. Senior, I want to urge your listeners to say there is a book by F.D. McDonald. What did he say? The title of the book is Crime and Law Enforcement in the Global Village. A NATO security couples don't go share with Brussels, Belgium. No more year conference. 3 months in 1997. No, journalists are not account. F.D. McDonald no or compile speeches are participant no. Ebe deliver no they that or that book no. There was a gentleman from University of Palermo called Ubeto Santino. Okasafa transborder crime and the threat to global democracy. Under his speech or title subheading me say rent sovereignty. And he talked about how criminals operate in the global scale using political actors. And it's a criminals Erezisika Ombetime sponsor a binding into office. Then they use the government to usurp the state authority for their own benefit. And he went further to provide 3 methods as alcohol issue. Method number 1, there must be a criminal program. Number 2, there must be an organized structure by which a sub program.
So only linking it to what?
I am linking to this government.
Okay, because of time.
Yes, I am linking to this government because so a new air cost now that knowledge into tone something it is very clear. This is a government of Bemuno or drone from the academia, from media, from the business community and others. No more in a boom. I don't think we shall no a cost of buying mupa. Oman Penya Kufuado and no more Casatia in opposition. Why is he doing some man in the gargantuan proportions, sir? The people who criticize Mahama cannot hold him accountable today.
Right.
Why? Because they are benefiting from that criminal enterprise. A syndicate headed by the president from the first staff house.
Thank you. Now, for a Pentecost for statement to a page in the Summa, a quick one. I don't know, be mommy straight information from inside say the sword is in the vault and it's intact.
Very well.
And
let's pray so.
Let's
pray so. Say you go.
All right. So, therefore, me wa a document to be from the Church of Pentecost, General Headquarters, Office of the Chairman, and it's dated 1st August, 2022. Yeah, there are two Facebook page. Minimum amount forward because they're trending on social media, and but you can go through quickly. So the area head, the Church of Pentecost, downtown of Falco. And you're Falco, you're Falco.
Falco. That's Kaswadi.
Oh, okay.
Of Falco.
Oh, you're of Falco, and you're Falco. Oh, I see.
Of Baku, you're Baku, Wanko.
Of Falco, the Baku, okay. No, and then we first there.
Yeah. Mekrana. I was very confused.
Oh, really?
About the names. Yeah.
I haven't paid attention to that.
Yeah. Ofanko. And not Ofanko. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. So I'll say tithes and offering performance, January to June 2022. Warm Christian greetings. Allah ba muizawa. And I read. I'll say, according to the tithes and offering analysis, we are preferred to offer the double year analysis also. According to the tithes and offering analysis from the finance department at the headquarters, it emerged that downtown of our area for the first half of the year, January to June 2022, was unable to meet its budget. The budget for the first half was 3,188,529 thousand, right? 3 million and over. Okay, yeah. So let's make it at 3 million Ghana cedis. However, the area recorded 2.780 million Ghana cedis with a variance of 407,992,000, representing 12.80%. We are aware of the global effect of the war in Ukraine and the hardship that the COVID-19 still imposes on our members. But the above, notwithstanding, let us continue to work hard at achieving our annual budget as we also pray with you. Okay, so may the Lord be with you. Yours faithfully, Eric Nyameche, Apostle, and he's the chairman, or copy the general secretary, and Nkro from Nkro. Listen, so baby, Yababa Bedruni. Say, Afedia, and Soreno, and so say, or Mumiti or Mutagan. Interestingly, Pentecost for and the AE donations, and they could see a solemn die. Cathedral,
any prison.
Omuna AEska educosi. Prison no crowd here. Say, Omusi, at least, say, Omanfwa, Yadom Quafiasna Bra Bombe better. So, straight ahead. I don't think, say, Cathedral, you see. Niaka so be your baby and no moon and conquer down anado. I mean, but baby,
you should also be there if you say, Mammy. Exactly. If you say, what's in here?
Here is true. So that's it. But quick one.
Church of Pentecost, the Benyanti tea or hoping tea. The can I say, I'm being biased in the Lord. I don't know if that is right. But Kwabena, I think the letter is very pregnant. Pregnant in the sense that the kind affirm the hardship. Yeah, a war, a year on my name, and a sorry name title. Church of Pentecost ya sorry a ehun konkra sorry ntino obi bia okosa sorry ni bia no oma say oma especially a sorry sika because enim say a sorry sika no mostly no ya de ye enioma sebio eboa ma empuntuo ne nkoso eni yedie eba asori nim ntino Pentecost ni bia ye obi a we use kama sorry in fact in some cases obi timi de obedie bo afore na wahwe nyame ani monyam ampa so nyame timi ehye ne ho ani monyam sene oba na Yesu kwaje ne mori no otimi ma nshira eba afie ho beye na dum no na kwabra baby a ene nwanwa kese pa ye COVID-19 in Ukraine. I say ahamitaka. If apostles are in Church of Pentecost, Mekai apostle Yabu a pencil.
Yes, dollar do 10.5. 10.2.
Right. Jabin kwemu
boy.
10-2. Apostle kata na otroye no Ukraine ho na o de koye na keke no na em say respectfully many apostle nya adwen. Many apostle nya adwen because Ukraine for to bomb and to Ghana ha. And me Church of Pentecost members no omo ye adwuma Ukraine in na market triakem. And Ukraine for no entokwa no Ukraine and Russia for entokwa no member bia ni hono mo a okofa hit eba enu nti no no tutu so dudu akamu nti no nwa say apostle di kratai.
No, but listen, you're telling me the fact of the matter is that or my no more thing ontibinka.
No, waka.
What can I ever?
Oh, what can say?
One can say you was say Ukraine any COVID-19.
Aye, okay.
So I wanna. No, I say in America no.
Aye.
But the fact of the matter is that Ekufa do na bushia for years kano.
Yes.
Oma mismanage the economy. Can Ofuriata destroy Omai no? And these are some of the issues.
Issue about the cathedral no. Me can me yi sofo apostle Eric Nyameche Efrim san say akwa na okosua demon ho nneoma no
demonology no
demonology be Pentecost chairman no onyina opoko onyina onimfo onyina ena ode se sika ne koye me nyini se apostle Nyameche diska bia akwa koma obi aso office cathedral. Let's set the record straight. If apostle Nyameche bae no ama me konkra do say Church of Pentecost me nya mesako but me nya assembly e ben me entina as a mintimi nkoye.
Na wa sorry da be pa no baju.
Oh obeji me. Say Nyame Obama ya de boyefo ya.
Ni nyina so wura sorry dem a omo hwe ntutu omo ne meyi.
Omo tutu ne esa dia. Je me hu bia na beka. No Ukrainian anymore, and me promise you, but me nya assembly bia. Because apostle Nyameche bae no, kwabra obehwa. There are things I need see o Church of Pentecost mo a. So say no what to tun your maye. And or you very truthful and frankful, or you be or you blunt. On fan your man to train who pi. Say minim say wa hwe no the videos bia na say trend ya. Na say wo ya doye pa. Church of Pentecost na enka yen say chi ya ye den.
Anyway.
Enu ntino mesre say apostle we no sin to kakra ba ho ni Ukraine ni Russia ni COVID-19 no asa wo ya kasa te say Akufo-Addo nti ho no pay free mu dia na che say watu ahon boni na free o kasa ni
ma me nko anyway, but Ochna Nana Manfrehine did the 25th anniversary. And quick one. Mickey, Majomania.
Hey, Bobie.
Nana, Boko there. Minia, where I'm running to know, yeah, monitor. Or chance to say to say, to say, you're vice president, and you're John Mahama, or Church Medina CB, Manfi, to say.
If I tell no carry.
And it's to say.
What do you say?
As it's to say.
Oh, watching that, you ever see a sorry not say I'm about 10 o'clock. And you buy your some a nasty some a year or Sabarima and Santa 25 years near what in the at this month, nobody cheat on me, no woke up men. Now, you're really a sorry not Thursday because 25 years ago, a year 2007. 1997. Yes. And I am man so in the year 18th of August 1997. In that 18th of August, no, a year of China, 25 years. And until now, day I saw no, I said Thursday or China. Na you got what then you say. It vice president and young papa John Mahama Moriba now would say I get carry and you won't make us say at Antima for him ya be do a year Kapahini a year all there's so many chiefs all over the country. When you know about do a year and memory and memory yina ya to Aquanga Yama Kwaba. So Chinano na Emmanuel Presbyterian Church, sorry, it is here at 10 o'clock. Now, yes, I need to by 2 p.m. now, you read, sorry, no to be a nothing, a cocktail refreshment in the soup. Now, in Comobia or no, yes,
which means, or Chinamo Boja.
Or Chinano, yeah, Muja.
That been the job on a Friday or Saturday.
Fortunately, a consider me.
Okay.
Comes Sunday.
Okay.
Aquasidai. If Aquasidai is Sunday, Nana, any or monthly now to the Sapa, sorry. If you are sorry, I'm not about Aquasidai.
Okay. All right.
But the main festival in December. December, na yeba no afafa okumuno. No na yebe bukwa kese. Na ya pija na nanum na de nyina akosoro wa pakan. That's what we have a chef on Ankata. But originally, a Thanksgiving service to thank the Lord. 25 years, your man was so a year 1997, 18th of August. Actually, which is father a Ochinano in a Yokoye. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Yo, and Minia, Yada Sibre, Yamamutrin Kwaso, Yamanasu Trinkwa.
Okay, Bobie, into Yamisha, I'll be a one. Now, so far, but now, there are a lot of projects and so on. You're better than into details no they get them out.
Marty. Yeah, that's it. All right, so that's it. Now, quick one. Ochina Edanwano. A Rise Ghana, Jumadi Cassia. And listen, Ochina press conference center, your two South Central for.
Yeah, will be
and Adetitua, yeah, Bosso, in Kania. Any nsuo ya wo atutum ene ahokyere ya aba nipa so a ahohiahia e confite ekum koto to anya pradada so wokyera ye be edi ho nkomo myself, yourself, Mensa Thompson, Bernard Mona, Uncle
Chairman Rex Omar,
Chairman Rex Omar, Sami Jemfi, your friend say, Mordecai,
Ubia,
and
Amaliba,
so
everyone is welcome.
International Press Center. And one of you do a basso area 12 noon near their term. All right, let's do this.
Asampete special. A woman.
All right, so that's it live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. Gianna Hospital. And almost an annual Job Choco. Thank you so much. Eclipse Collateral, we are grateful. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Negotiated Benefit Trust Company, thank you so much. And then we have Quick Credit and Investment Microcredit. And I say, come the production crew. Haruna Maliba, Listowal, Mediane Bobie Ansah. Yami Aduma Wachna. The best I share. What's it? Yo, ni watch la enjoy your evening. Keep safe.
Window could have gone on this year. I can't